Okay, guys, this is the planetary times in which I was telling. This is the planetary times in which I was speaking of. Trying to get it into a really good spot so you can see it all. It's coming a little bit hazier than I thought because it's taking a graph of. I'll do half. Okay, that's good, huh? No? How about that? There we go. And don't worry about it, we'll talk about it anyway. Okay, here's the thing. We're going to start off with the planetary. First of all, let me say this: I'm fasting, and when you start fasting, you become in a really, really I don't give a darn mode. But that's a whole other video that you guys will see. And I'm weak. To top it all off, I'm weak. I think I'm in day like 16, whatever. Okay, I don't want to hold you guys up on that particular part of it anymore because so you can know when and how one should manifest. And because I'm so weak and tired, I had to write some stuff down. Okay. Um, so when you were talking about when the best times to fast, when the best times to um, petition the universe for what it is that you want. Okay, so first let me kind of do kind of a review on the first part, and that would be vibrationally, what the universe is doing vibrationally. And the first time to pray would be between 4 and 5 in the morning. So you start around 4 a.m. and the windows of the heavens of the universe, if you will, open up for those requests and it closes at the crack of dawn. So when you start to see the light, that's when it starts to close. So if you start and the light has already come, you've missed it. You've just missed it. But there's always tomorrow, God willing, right? There's always tomorrow. Okay, the next peak time would be noon. So when the sun hits your head at a right angle, that would be the next best time. After that would be twilight. And the reason why I'm not giving a time is because all of these things happen at a different time every day. It depends. You just have to kind of like look, depending on what coast, what part of the world you live in, and contingent upon that, that's what will determine what times would be the time to do it where you're located. And then the next and final time would be when you go to sleep. Now, in essence, when you go to sleep would be the first time because the evening and the morning, again, are the first day, and so on and so forth. Okay. Contrary to what most people might think, Sunday is the first day of the week. You might be thinking, okay, what else would I think? But believe me, a lot of people do think that Sunday is the first day of the week, right? Um, a wise man told me, why do you think that they say that Jesus died on Friday and rose on Sunday, but he was dead for 3 days? But yet, when you count from Friday, 3 days later, it's Monday. You go Friday, right? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Why does it keep coming up on Monday? Because all over the world, except North American countries, they consider it Easter Monday. Now he told me that they said that when I was in Catholic school, he rose on Sunday. But in my heart, I'm like, that doesn't add up. But when you go to Catholic school, generally you don't say anything. But I never allowed that teaching to permeate my thinking. Anyway, Sunday is obviously here again. Sunday. This is the day for the sun. The sun rules on Sunday for 24 hours. The moon rules on Monday for 24 hours. On Tuesday, Mars rules for 24 hours. On Wednesday is Mercury. It rules for 24 hours. And then Thursday would be Jupiter. It rules for 24 hours. Friday is Venus. It rules for 24 hours. And then obviously Saturn is for Saturday. It rules for 24 hours. And it is the most dominant of the 7 days of the week. Saturday. Saturn rules. Okay. Now, what do these things? Oh, the graph that I just showed you, the table, shows you the days of the week and the hours in which those particular planets rule. Now, what I'm going to tell you is what they rule over so you'll know what to pray or entreat the universe for. Okay? Whatever issue you're having, to basically entreat the universe for that particular thing. Okay? So, okay. And I hate I didn't get a chance to get more into it last time, but it was running over like into an hour or something like that. And I don't want to hold you guys that much for that, hold you captive for that amount of time. Okay, here we go. On Sunday, here again, which is the first day of the week, is for empowerment, blessings, purification, and health. Okay, so if you're not feeling well or something like that, be it fatal or otherwise, Sunday would be the day to do that. Okay, and also taking care of things, not things like, oh, let me pay this bill, but things like, your plants or things that grow, your children or what have you, that kind of thing. But it's definitely a day of empowerment. And I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget any of the elements. Monday is a day for mental health or doing things mentally or mentally connecting, like psychic work or knowing what's going to happen uh, futuristically, if you will. Um, and it's also a good day for change. Not sorry, not change. If you want to charge, it's a good day for infusion. Like if you want to charge your crystals, you want to give them more energy because you have to do it every so often because it acquires the elements. Your crystals do, so you have to charge them every so often. Um, this is the 21st of December. Well, now it's the 22nd, which is the winter solstice. And with it being the winter solstice, this is a time when everything is going to get ready to start over again and dictate the rest of your year. Okay? I'll explain why, if not in this video. Well, it has to be in this video. But anyway, uh, it's also a good day, Monday, for astral projection, for lucid dreaming, things like that. Just having your super natural abilities to kick in and form or formulate. Um, it's a good day for change as far as, say, for instance, if you want something or you put something in place and you want to change something that's bad and make it good, even if you yourself ask for something, let's say you wanted, let's say, I don't know, a guy or a girl, and you find out that that person's a clown or a creep or whatever, you know, and you don't want that anymore, then that's a good day to, eradicate that. Or maybe you just want to just kind of just, it's an okay person, but you just want to change a little something about them or what have you. It's a good day for that. Okay, Tuesday's Mars. Okay, Mars is good for, it's an actionary day. An actionary day in the sense of protection. Like if you think something or someone is going to come, you're going to come into harm's way, or if you're in the military, and you need protection, or your country's at war. I don't know, things like that. Just or you think a bully's going to bother you. That's a good day to petition the universe for protection. And being bullied is not any less serious than going to war. That's how powerful these planets are. That's how effective they are. All kinds of things cannot happen or happen. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's also a good time for rewards. Like, say, for instance, if you want to acquire a job, like if you're talking to someone in HR and they say, well, um, how about Tuesday? How does that work for you? It would probably behoove you to go for a Tuesday versus any other day of the week. Or if you want to ask your supervisor, whomever you work for more hours or whatever, to get things done, to have, more um, rewards. Okay. So, and I would also say that it would probably also be a good day for affluence. And all of these days are not exclusive, meaning just because you can get affluence on one day doesn't mean you can't get affluence on another day. You just have to know which days they are and which days they are more potent for. Okay, Wednesday is a good day for communication, travel, um, expeditiousness. Like if you want something and you want it to happen rapidly, that's a good day for that. Wednesday is a good day for starting things. It's the day for starting a fast and stuff like that. Um, Monday is a very bad day for starting things. Just words of the wise. Wednesday's a good blocker day. Like if you think someone's trying to again harm you, you can block the blocker, kind of like the phone. You can block that thing from manifesting. Thursday is Jupiter, and Jupiter rules over that day for 24 hours yet again. And it's a good day for wealth and also um, strong affluence as well. It's a good luck day. I wouldn't suggest you go to Vegas, but that's just me because I'm not a gambler. Hey, it's a good luck day. Um, that's a buena suerte and a good fortune, a mazel tov day. It is. It just is. It's a good day for mazel. Friday, which is ruled by Venus, is a good day for uh, favor. Like if you want to find yourself to have good favor in someone's eyes, if you want to have them favor you, if you want to have them love you, I said it before, you wouldn't want to have anyone want you who you wouldn't want anyone who doesn't want you. So all you have to do in order to make certain that this is working right is just reverse it. What I want this to happen to me. If you wouldn't want anyone to do it to you, then you shouldn't do it to them, because karma is a actionary thing that never ceases and it sees everything. And that's something you cannot block. And if you can, I'm not privy to it. Um, Friday is a day of harmony, closeness, togetherness. If you already are in a relationship with someone, you can make it better. You can make it closer, and not just with lovers. It could be your family, your kids. It could be an autonomous relationship where it could be a platonic. Why do I keep doing that? It could be a platonic relationship where you're just friends or your family, and things are rough, and you just want to not have autonomy over them, but you just want everything to be well between the two of you and have everything good in your platonic relationship as well as your intimate relationships. Okay, yeah, I'm having a day. So then there is Oh, you can also attract new love also on Friday. New love that you never even thought that you would want. You could just you don't you might not even know where it's coming from, but once you entreat the universe, it'll just bring and make sure that you're specific about how you want it. You don't want bad love if there's such a thing. And then again, there's Saturn, the ruler of all of the planets. Saturday. Saturday is a day of challenges. They consider it a dark magic day. That's why Jews and I think other religions use it for their Sabbath day because they know it's a dark day, but they don't tell you that. They say it's a day of rest so that you stay in because horrible things can happen on that day. So that's why it's considered a dark magic day, is what they call it. It's a day of laws, and Jews are allegedly strong on Torah, which is a Hebrew word for law, Torah. Um, so it's a dark day, and what they basically do is stop everything and try and illuminate it because it's so powerful. Okay, so that squares away what's going down with the days of the week and how to make things manifest. Now we're going to go into um, what's very important to me, in my opinion, and I think that would be etymology. Etymology is just it's so important because the nations use it to deceive us, and that's what this whole thing is about. As I spoke on before, the serpent being a deceiver, not a liar, can't lie, but it can deceive. So if you don't have it together, that's on you. Okay, words are the definition of words are in the word, but we're taught that when you give a definition of a word, which is true, you never use that word to define the word. I wouldn't say the definition of a hot day is, oh my gosh, it's like it's burning, it's hot. It's You can't use that word because we're back to not knowing what that means. Like the word prediction. Just break it down. For example, pre means before, addiction means to talk. In other words, to know what's going to be dictated or told before it's actually manifested or told. See how they kind of play with words? Okay. And then I told you about the television where they tell you lies via vision. And they even give you what's called a remote control to make you believe that you're controlling the television when actually they're controlling you via remote control. The next one I have is uh, oh, I wanted to just touch really briefly on. I don't watch TV, but I heard about this at Starbucks, and these people were talking about this actor who was in some big film, and he was supposed to be the star, and he's the protagonist, and he wins the fight. I used to be an actress, so I know how they can get in your head. They make Hollywood is so profound in what they can do that they make the person believe that they can do the things that they are using via animation and special effects. This guy has lost his mind so much. Now, I do know boxing. Whoever this guy is wants to fight Roy Jones. Now, Roy Jones has been in retirement for some time, but he would kick his butt. Come on now, y'all. I don't even know who this guy is, but his mind has been taken over because he goes to a premiere or a screening and sees himself kicking unkickable butt for him anyway. And he believes that it's a MK Ultra mind control thing that's happening with these people. But anyway, um, offense. Okay, we believe that offense is to mean you're supposed to be protecting yourself. You know, I'm sorry, you're aggressing the defense. So the defense is supposed to be the good person, which is going to be the protagonist, and the offense is going to be the antagonist because you're offending. Okay, but it's really a word that means off the fence. Okay, so there's a lot. There's with the fence. There's a wall put up there or a fence put up there. Okay, so with offense, that means that there's a wall there that you're not trying to cross. So in essence, the offense and the defense, think about a football game. Everybody is an antagonist. Everyone's trying to hurt everyone, and that's what they do to us. And we hear it and we go with it. And also with offense or offense, you think about offense. Offense is something that you fix if it's broken, or offensive. You know what I mean? Kind of deal. It's not necessarily physical. It could be mental, offensive. Then we have peace. Everybody wants peace, right? Don't you want to be peaceful? No, I don't. Why? Peace is a small portion of something. It's not an olive branch or a dove or this or that. And they make these homonyms and they trick us with them. So that's another word to look out for. Peace. You don't want peace. Okay? You want something, whatever it is that you want. Don't say you want peace. Say you want exactly what that is. Okay? I want you leave me alone. Leave me alone. And you also have to be very mindful about how you request what you want. You can't say, I want XYZ. Because the moment you say, I want, that connotates the fact that you don't have it. Okay, I want to be. If you say, I want to be, it'll never manifest because you'll always be in the state of wanting to be. I want to be. I want to be will never deliver it. So you have to be mindful about that. And even that word is very dangerous. And I have to train myself not to say it. Because if you're mindful, that means your mind is full. You don't want that because if it's full, you can't get anything else in it. If your pocket is full of apples, you can't, as the wise man said, put diamonds in your pocket. Your pockets are full of apples, I can't put diamonds in it. You have to empty it first for me to put something better or good in it. You can't have a full mind. Be extremely aware of Latin and Spanish because that is the root of what we call English rides off of, or American. And King Solomon said, let your words be few. And that's why. Because you're bound to mess up. Because language is something that developed far after human beings did. We didn't talk before. We were able to communicate via telepathic communication, just like animals. But somewhere something went awry and here we are. Okay. That way you can convey exactly what it is that you want without having to speak it. And that's where or how you're able to think without anyone hearing you. You don't even have to think words. You can just think the thing. You can just convey the thing to the universe. You don't even have to say words. But at some point you will have to say words to communicate with your man's humanity to man, people you work with, relatives, your kids. You're going to have to speak. And when you do, the universe hears you. And it doesn't hear what you mean. It hears what you say. Doesn't know what you mean. It knows what you say. Trust me. Um, let's see. Oh, testimony. Let's talk about where that word comes from. Testimony is a litigious word that comes out of the courts. It arises out of testicles because in ancient days, when that's why women originally couldn't be jurors, not because they were women, but because they didn't have testicles. Men will go into court as witnesses and they would raise their left hand and put their right hand not on the Bible, but on their testicles. And they would swear to tell the truth or have their testes crushed. That's where that came from. Because think about it, the Bible hasn't always been there, but wrong has. Right or wrong has. So that's where that comes from. Testes, testament, testicle, testimony. That's where that derived from. Um, let's see. We have another thing, channel. With the television, you have the remote control, you have the television, you have turning channels. Okay, they're channeling you. They're channeling that negative energy into you, and that's extremely important because a lot of people use the television for babysitters for their children. I know it sounds cliche, but nonetheless, it's true. Personally, I do own a television, but I don't use television. I use the monitor so that I can control what I see. You know what I mean? If I want to see, I don't know, a documentary, put it on and use it that way. Um, I'm not saying that you're wrong for watching television or anything like that. You watch whatever you like. I'm just telling you the way it is. Um, we have and then, it's a great movie on MK Ultra Mind Control. It's a movie by Frank Sinatra, and it's called The Manchurian Candidate. I mean, it shows you what they really do to people who go to the military. They literally empty everything out and put in what they want to put in. They turn regular people into killers. You have to be a murderer to go to war. Even if you never touch a gun, you have to be able to navigate war. That's another thing. Um, I got that down. Um, oh, hospital, hospital, hospice, dying. Hospital is a Latin word that means a place to die, right? That's why a lot of people have their babies at home, have home births, because hospital literally means a place to die. And it's not that different in Latin. It would be un hospital or infirmary. Infirmary means to be infirm is to be sick. I want to go to a place where it's I don't want to say healing center because if you need to heal, that means something's wrong. If you want to go to a wellness center, okay, then that means that a well is water, it's deep. A well is a well, who cares? It's deep. And a center, don't get caught up. Sin, sinner, sin. Gotta watch out for that kind of stuff. And then there's mortgage. Everyone wants the American dream to have a home with a white picket fence and yada yada yada. But you have to have a mortgage, right? Mortgage on your house, morgue, another place you go after you're dead, morgue. Why? Most mortgages have a 30-year uh, loan. Most people don't get houses until they get older. Most people don't even live long enough to pay the mortgage, and that's why it's called that. So you can't say you didn't know. Again, they can't lie, but they can deceive you. And if you do live to pay it off, or you don't lose the mortgage or lose the house, well, then how many good years you think you're going to have to live in it? You're living to die, basically. Um, let's see. Um, believe. Someone always wants people to believe them. Okay? Believe, be, lie. Now, either if you believe something, that means the person's telling the truth. So why is the word lie in the term believe? These people are cagey. You gotta watch that upper 5%. You gotta watch them. It's something else. Um, then there's a therapist. Please, if you take nothing else from this video, if you have a problem within your marriage, a problem within yourself, a problem period, mentally, psychologically, do not go to a therapist. Now, there's a age-old joke that brown people don't go to therapists, they go to church. However, the term therapist requires that the person get into your mind and restructure it and change it. And it can't be changed back. It's like a virgin. Once that hymen is broken, that's it, even if it's a rape. Oh, yeah, therapist. Break that down. The rapist. Your mind has to be raped. And they're telling you that in order for them to get in and get out and do what they need to do and have you keep coming back. I've never known anyone to ever finish or complete therapy. Okay. Um, then, sorcery. The Bible talks about sorcery and how it's evil and it's this and it's that. Again, if I can convince you that something is bad or spookism, you'll leave it alone. Meanwhile, I'm doing it. Sorcery has the term in it, source, the God source. The source is whatever the main thing comes from. And what we all come from is the source of it all. The source of it all is the universe. The source of it all is God. The source of it all is Allah, whatever you want to call it. That's the source. And they're telling you do not delve in sorcery. And all you have to do when you think about this Bible is think about who wrote it. Just like when you look at a picture, you think about, wow, who painted this picture? You know, what is he trying to say? If he's a madman, you're going to think mad things. If he's a good person, you're going to interpret good things. And if you know a little about that person, King James was a homosexual who hated women to a degree that he murdered his own mother. And the men who he commissioned, the 12 men he commissioned, I believe it was 12 or 24 who he commissioned to rewrite and restructure the King James Version. They're telling you that that's not it. It's a version of the Bible. He killed them 2 days after they finished it. I think, I'm not certain, but I believe, was it a week? It was 2 days, 2 days after. I mean, they don't even care what you think. Okay. Okay, how are you? Oh, another thing. If someone asks you how you're feeling, no matter how you're feeling, good, bad, or indifferent, your response is, come on, everybody. What? 1, 2, 3. How you doing? Fine. Not good. Even if you were doing good. It's not the thing to say. Fine is thin. It's fragile. It's easily broken. And that's just not something that you want to be. You don't want to be fine, but we're so used to it. Well, finding you, you don't even think about it. Okay. Let's see here. Then there is let me see. There's something I wanted to touch on. Oh, the term nice. How are you? Who's just a nice person? Nice is a Latin word that means ignorant. Look it up. And then there's good night. What does a knight do? Knight. A knight is a vigilant murderer. Okay, so you say good night because it's time to go to sleep and it's dark. The dark night is a murderer. So you wouldn't say good night. Good night to someone would be good murdering. Hope you die good, good dying. You know? Okay. Um, good morning. Almost the same thing. What is good about mourning? Mourning is something that happens that you go through when someone dies. Good morning. Who wants to have that? Who wants to bid that upon someone? You have to think about those things. This whole English language is just really messed us up. It's just messed up, period. It would be more like uh, good awakening, when so or good rising, uh, good awakening, awake. Okay, you're not awake means oh I can see. No, awake is something that happens when someone dies as well. You know what I mean? You wouldn't say good awakening, maybe good rising or something to that effect. Um, let me see. There's some more, but I want to touch on the good ones because I'm already at like a almost a 40-minute mark. Um, oh, there is the cosmos. You know, cosmic things that happen. That's where the word cosmetics comes from, because you want things to be made better. Okay, so in the cosmos, things can appear differently than they actually are on Earth, because as above, so below. There's one of you going this way and one of you going that way, as I explained in the lake when you see your reflection, but up and down like a pyramid, which what some would call the Star of David. Okay, so in which case it's a false conception of what's really going on, because when you wear makeup, you make things seem better than they are. And that's another reason why I didn't put on any. Um, then we've got romance, the term romance. Everybody wants to go to romance. What's the most romantic place on the planet? Paris, France, Rome, Italy. Okay. Romance comes from the term Rome, where there are a large number of, and some people even say the pinnacle of homosexuality. I'm just telling it like it is. Um, it's the same thing with the Greek. Okay, the Greek fraternities, that's a big homosexual plateau. Okay, that's why I got out of it and just denounced it altogether. Um, yeah, I let my sorority just absolutely just, I don't even recognize it. Um, so you got the Greek, the freak fraternities. Yeah, I didn't say that. You got the, I was going to say it again. You got the Greek fraternities and sororities, and they have a hazing process. Okay, what does haze mean? Haze means you can't see. You know what I'm saying? It's smoke and mirrors. Why would one want to be a part of an organization that you do not know about until after you get in it? I will never understand that. I did it. I don't get it. But every blade of grass doesn't grow at the same rate, right? Okay, I'm a little bit slower than other blades of grass. Um, I mean, think about it. Everyone in fraternities and sororities is supposed to be brothers and sisters, right? You treat your brothers and sisters better than you would treat the average person, but you want to slap me? You want to hit me with a paddle? You want to defame and debase me? Come on now. Something's wrong with that for us to think that that's okay. That's something wrong with us to see that people, because before only Caucasian people were able, only white people had fraternities and sororities. But being who we are, we want to be a part of it. We want to vote too. We want to this, that, and the other too. So we wanted our sororities and fraternities too. Hence, Alpha Phi Alpha, aka Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, Kappa Alpha Psi, Omega Psi Pi, and so far and so forth with the Zeta Phi Betas and Phi Beta Sigmas and so on and so forth. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with a person being a part of a sorority or a fraternity. I'm just saying this is how I feel. This was my experience with it. I didn't feel like I was being treated like someone's sister or someone who cared about me. And then after you do all these things to me, we're supposed to be good. No, I don't work like that. I just don't. I don't. Um, then there's so much. The degrees of Masons. Okay, when you get a bachelor's degree, that's 1 degree. When you get a master's degree, that's 2 degrees. If you get a doctorate degree, that's 3 degrees. If you get a LLM, which is a Master of Laws, you got 4 degrees. So after a while, you're going to have to repeat degrees. Okay, so let's say at best you get 4 or 5. It's 33 degrees in a masonry. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, in masonry, if you have a degree, they will bring you up at a certain rank. You won't have to start off at the first degree, but the maximum is 33. So I think I may have touched on this. You got a 33-degree mason, but there's 360 degrees to be had in the circumference, and they think they're high on the spectrum. Give me a break. Okay. Oh, I gotta touch on this. Everyone knows, or at least I'm not gonna say everyone knows, but the Crips and the Bloods were created at Stanford University. They started from the colors and went all the way up to where they were going to position them in Oakland, down in Inglewood. We have the Bloods and the Crips. When you have to think about the red and the blue, you got the Democratic blue and the Republican red. Okay? You have the red Bloods and you have the blue Crips. When you go to a fight, which I love boxing, you have red on one side and blue on another side, which is the contender and the one defending their belt, red and blue. What color is the American flag? Most flags, red, white, and blue. That's basically what's happened. Now, I told you all about the hand signs and everything means something different. Okay, at Stanford, they did not come up with hand signs for the Crips and the Bloods because they were too positive. There's no negative hand gesture. So they said we better leave that out. But yet they do it. Jews are very handsy with their speaking because they know this. They know it. So they left the hands out. Okay, so where do the Bloods and the Crips get the this and the that and all these different signs? It's inherent in your DNA. Your DNA tells you that you're being protected, but because you haven't been told verbally, you don't know how and why. And because, again, I'm at the 44-minute mark, I'm going to talk about a couple more things, and I will show you what each hand sign means next time. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask them down in the comment section. And please comment, subscribe, and thumbs up, but mostly subscribe so I can be able to continue to share with you what I know to be true. And I have to say, in LOVE, with all love, that I went from like 6 or 7,000 views to maybe 33 or something like that. The last time I saw, I don't care if there's only 33, 13 or 3. I'm still going to give that message to those 3, 13 or 33. The problem is that YouTube has come up with this thing where if you don't have X amount of subscribers, X amount of hits and things like that, they'll cut you off. So, you guys do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and the like button and the thumbs up like. Anyway, um, there is the master. This is just something that I think is important, and that's the master versus Mister. Okay. When I was growing up, and the first time I ever seen anything that had anything to do with slavery was Roots, Alex Haley's Roots. And I don't know why, but it crushed me when I found out that he plagiarized that book and didn't write it, and that he was well, that's another story, but he didn't write it. But anyway, when they said master, I thought it meant ruler. But master is just another word for mister, as mistress is another word for miss or missus. That's all, not a ruler. Um, in England, they say mistress so and so or master whatever. It's not someone who owns you. I just thought that was important to throw in there. Uh, Let me see. There is, God, that's so important. I have to come back to that. Um, they used to call every single, used to be Harvard College. Now it's Harvard University. Why? Because college is a collegiate place to learn. Okay. Whereas the university, they said, oh, we're confining ourselves by calling ourselves college. We're going to call ourselves a universe, a T. Una meaning one, verse meaning line, one line, a T. University. There's only one method of learning, and we have it. We're at the peak. We're the universe, a T. Okay, so that's how they went from Harvard College to Harvard University, and why Spelman College is still a college because it's for women. And Morehouse is very popular with a lot of brown men, so it's a college. Okay, so that is the reason why. And I told you, don't be mindful. You don't want your mindful. Um, okay, I'm going to talk about not allowing anyone else to create in your reality, meaning you are the master, again, a cliche, of your destiny. But if you leave it open, you can allow someone else to create in your reality, and they will manifest what they want for you in you. Okay. Again, I generally do these videos at this hour. It's like 12 after 3 right now, so that I can kind of get through them, so that the questions won't come in the chat section, but they'll come in the comment section, and then I can address them afterwards, because it's not good to answer questions in haste. So I want everyone to rise and continue to elevate, and I will talk to you soon. I will see you soon. And again, make sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button so I can continue to bring you these magnificent, unbelievable messages. Okay? All right. Thank you. I'm Dr. Leah, and I will see you soon.